Have you ever noticed how a single sentence, sometimes even just a few words, can completely change the way someone looks at you? Two people can say almost the same thing, yet one leaves a deep impression while the other is forgotten within seconds. Why does that happen? Why do some individuals speak so simply, yet their words carry weight, confidence, and quiet authority, while others talk endlessly but fail to capture real attention? At first glance, it might seem like attraction is built through clever lines, perfect jokes, or rehearsed conversations. Many people believe that the secret lies in saying the right thing at the right moment. But the deeper truth is far more interesting, because attraction is rarely created by complicated language. In fact, the most powerful expressions are often the simplest ones. Two words, spoken with the right mindset, can reveal more about a person's character than 100 carefully crafted sentences. But here is where most people misunderstand the psychology behind it. Those words only work when they come from a certain inner state. Without that inner foundation, the same words sound weak, forced, or even desperate. The Stoic philosophers understood this long before modern psychology tried to explain it. Marcus Aurelius believed that words gain their power not from their complexity, but from the character of the person speaking them. He wrote many reminders to himself about the importance of speaking honestly, calmly, and without the need to impress others. Because when someone is secure within themselves, their words naturally become more grounded and sincere. But when someone speaks from insecurity, trying too hard to gain approval, their words lose their weight. People can sense it. They may not consciously analyze it, but instinctively they feel the difference. This is why the same phrase spoken by two different people can create completely opposite reactions. One feels natural and confident, the other feels forced. Epictetus taught his students something that reveals this clearly. He said that a person should focus less on controlling how others respond and more on mastering their own mind. Because once someone learns to remain calm, centered, and self-possessed, their presence begins to change the atmosphere around them. Their words slow down, their tone becomes steady, and the need to impress disappears. That is where genuine confidence begins. And strangely enough, that quiet confidence is one of the most attractive qualities a person can possess. Now think about this for a moment. Most conversations today are filled with noise. People speak quickly, trying to fill every silence. They try to entertain, persuade, or constantly prove their worth. But someone who speaks less and chooses their words carefully often stands out immediately. Why? Because calmness suggests control, and control suggests strength. Seneca once observed that the most powerful individuals are often the ones who do not feel the need to speak the most. They listen carefully, they respond thoughtfully, and when they finally say something, people pay attention. This brings us to the idea behind those two words. They are not magical. They are not manipulative. Their power comes from what they represent: clarity, directness, and emotional composure. When someone speaks with those qualities, their words carry a kind of quiet authority that others naturally respect. But when those same words are spoken from insecurity, they lose their effect entirely. Which raises an interesting question. What are these two simple words, and why do they reveal so much about a person's confidence, boundaries, and emotional strength? To understand that, we first need to look at a deeper psychological principle: the way human beings respond to honesty and emotional clarity. Because once you understand this principle, those two words begin to make perfect sense. And that leads us to the first insight, where attraction begins not with charm or cleverness, but with something much rarer in today's world: authenticity. The first insight begins with something that is surprisingly rare in modern conversations: authenticity. In a world where many people try to impress, perform, or hide behind carefully crafted personalities, authenticity has become almost unusual. Think about most social interactions today. People often filter their words, adjust their opinions, and reshape their personalities depending on who they are speaking with. They laugh at jokes they do not truly find funny. They agree with ideas they do not actually believe. They say what they think others want to hear. Why? Because deep down, many people fear rejection. They believe that if they reveal their true thoughts, they might lose approval. But the strange paradox of human psychology is this: the more someone hides their true self to gain acceptance, the less genuine their presence feels. And people can sense that, not always consciously, but instinctively. Marcus Aurelius once wrote something that captures this idea perfectly. He reminded himself never to act a role in life, never to pretend to be someone he was not simply to please the crowd. Because a person who constantly adjusts themselves for approval slowly loses their inner stability. But someone who remains honest and grounded in their own identity carries a different energy. Their words are simpler, their reactions are calmer, and they do not feel pressured to prove themselves. This is where the power of those two words begins to appear. Because those words are not impressive or complicated. They are simple, but simplicity can be incredibly powerful when it comes from a place of authenticity. Many people believe attraction grows through grand gestures or elaborate compliments. But in reality, respect often grows through something much smaller: clarity. Clarity means saying what you mean without unnecessary games or confusion. It means speaking honestly instead of trying to manipulate reactions. Epictetus believed that a person who learns to live honestly with themselves becomes emotionally free. Why? Because they are no longer constantly calculating how others might respond. They are simply expressing what is true for them. And this kind of emotional clarity creates something powerful in conversation. It removes pressure, it removes confusion, and it creates trust. Imagine speaking with someone who constantly overthinks every word, trying to impress you. The conversation might feel entertaining for a moment, but eventually it becomes exhausting. Now imagine speaking with someone who is calm, direct, and honest about their thoughts. They do not exaggerate. They do not pretend. They simply express themselves clearly. Which interaction feels more grounded? Which person feels more trustworthy? Seneca believed that people are naturally drawn to those whose words and character are aligned. In other words, when someone's speech reflects their genuine mindset, their presence becomes more convincing. Because authenticity is difficult to fake for long. Eventually, pretenses collapse. But a person who has nothing to hide, nothing to prove, and nothing to exaggerate appears far more stable. And stability is something people deeply respect. This is why overly complicated attempts at attraction often fail. When someone tries too hard to impress, their words lose their natural rhythm. They become rehearsed, predictable, sometimes even desperate. But someone who is comfortable being themselves does not rush to impress anyone. They simply speak honestly, and honesty carries a quiet confidence. Now this leads us closer to the mystery of those two simple words. Because those words are not designed to manipulate emotion, they represent something much deeper. They represent a person who is comfortable with truth. Someone who does not hide their interest, but also does not beg for approval. Someone who communicates directly without turning the conversation into a performance. But there is another layer to this psychology. Because authenticity alone does not fully explain why certain words create attraction, there is another factor involved, something that Machiavelli himself observed when studying human behavior centuries ago. It has to do with emotional certainty. People are naturally drawn toward individuals who seem clear about what they want. Not aggressive, not controlling, but decisive. And that leads us to the second insight, where those two simple words begin to reveal their real psychological power. The second insight begins with a principle that many people overlook, yet it quietly shapes nearly every human interaction: certainty. Human beings are naturally drawn toward individuals who appear certain about themselves. Not arrogant, not controlling, but clear. Clear about their values, clear about their intentions, clear about what they appreciate and what they do not. This clarity creates a powerful psychological signal: stability. And stability is rare. In a world where many people constantly second-guess themselves, apologize for their opinions, or adjust their behavior to avoid rejection, someone who speaks with calm certainty immediately feels different. Machiavelli understood this aspect of human nature very well. While studying power and influence, he noticed that people instinctively respect individuals who appear decisive and emotionally grounded, not because they dominate others, but because they do not appear lost within themselves. Think about a simple conversation. One person constantly hesitates. They over-explain every statement. They soften every opinion with nervous laughter. They apologize before even finishing their sentence. Their words may be kind, but their uncertainty weakens their presence. Now imagine another person. They speak calmly. Their tone is relaxed. Their thoughts are clear, and they are not afraid of silence. They do not rush to fill every pause with unnecessary explanations. When they say something, they mean it. Immediately, the energy of the conversation feels different. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that clarity of mind is one of the greatest forms of strength a person can cultivate. Because when someone has clarity, they are no longer pulled in every direction by the opinions of others. They remain centered, and that inner center gives their words weight. This brings us closer to those two simple words. They are not complicated. They are not clever. In fact, they are surprisingly direct. The two words are, I appreciate. At first, this might sound almost too simple, but their power does not lie in the words alone. It lies in the mindset behind them. When someone says, I appreciate sincerely, it communicates something powerful. It shows emotional awareness. It shows confidence in expressing genuine recognition without exaggeration. And most importantly, it shows clarity of perception. For example, imagine saying calmly, I appreciate your honesty, or I appreciate your perspective. These words are simple, but they reveal something about the person speaking them. They are attentive, they are emotionally grounded, and they are not afraid to express sincere acknowledgement. Seneca believed that the strongest relationships are built not through flattery, but through genuine recognition of another person's character. Compliments that focus only on appearance often feel temporary, but appreciation directed towards someone's personality, intelligence, or values feels far more meaningful. Why? Because it recognizes something deeper. And when appreciation is expressed calmly, without exaggeration or desperation, it carries a quiet confidence. It says, I see something valuable and I acknowledge it. Nothing more, nothing less. In modern conversations, where people often try too hard to impress or entertain, that kind of sincerity can feel surprisingly refreshing. But there is another important aspect to this principle. The most powerful appreciation comes from someone who does not offer it cheaply. Someone who values their words enough not to give praise constantly. Because when appreciation is rare and sincere, it becomes far more meaningful. Epictetus believed that words should be used carefully and intentionally. A person who constantly speaks without reflection weakens their own voice. But someone who chooses their words with patience makes every statement more impactful. This is why calm, simple recognition can create such a powerful impression. Not because the words themselves are magical, but because they reveal a person who is emotionally balanced, attentive, and sincere. And those qualities naturally attract respect. But there is still one final insight that completes the picture. Because appreciation alone does not explain why certain individuals leave such lasting impressions, the final piece lies in something deeper than words. It lies in the way a person lives their life beyond conversation. Their discipline, their focus, their sense of direction. Because ultimately, the most attractive individuals are rarely those who say the perfect words. They are the ones whose actions reveal a life of purpose and self-mastery. And once you understand this final principle, everything about attraction becomes much clearer. The final insight brings everything together. Because while words can create interest, curiosity, and connection, they are never the true foundation of attraction. Words may open the door, but character is what keeps it open. This is something the Stoic philosophers understood deeply. They believe that a person's presence is shaped not by what they say in a moment, but by the habits, discipline, and mindset they cultivate every single day. Marcus Aurelius wrote constantly about this idea in his personal journal. Even though he was the most powerful man in Rome, he reminded himself that influence does not come from titles or clever speech. It comes from living with integrity. A person who wakes up each day focused on growth, responsibility, and purpose develops something that cannot easily be faked. Calm confidence. And that calm confidence changes how every interaction feels. When someone speaks from that place, their words carry a natural weight. They do not feel the need to impress anyone. They do not rush to fill silence. And they certainly do not chase attention. Instead, they remain steady. And that steadiness becomes magnetic. Think about the people you admire most in life. They are rarely the ones constantly seeking validation or approval. More often, they are individuals who seem grounded in themselves, people who move through the world with quiet discipline and self-respect. Seneca once explained that the greatest form of strength is self-command, the ability to govern your emotions, your impulses, and your reactions. When someone develops this kind of internal order, something powerful happens. They stop trying to control how others see them. And ironically, that is when people begin to respect them the most. Because true confidence is not loud. It does not demand recognition. It simply exists. Now think again about those two simple words we discussed earlier. I appreciate. Their real power was never about attracting someone through a clever phrase. Their power lies in what they reveal about the person saying them. They reveal someone who is observant, someone who values sincerity, someone who does not hide behind games or manipulation. And when those words come from a person who is already building a meaningful life, they carry far more impact. Because they are not spoken from desperation. They are spoken from genuine recognition. Epictetus believed that a person should focus on mastering their own character rather than trying to control other people's reactions. Why? Because the moment someone becomes obsessed with being liked, they surrender their inner freedom. But a person who builds their life around discipline, growth, and purpose becomes independent from that constant need for approval. And independence is powerful. It changes the way someone walks, the way they speak, the way they listen. Even silence begins to carry confidence. So if there is one lesson to take from all of this, it is not about memorizing lines or learning tricks of persuasion. It is something far deeper. Do not try to become someone who knows the right things to say. Instead, become someone whose life reflects clarity, discipline, and self-respect. Because when a person lives that way, their presence alone begins to speak for them, and the right words come naturally. If this message helped you see human connection from a different perspective, consider subscribing to Quiet Stoic. Here we explore the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy and the psychological principles that help build inner strength, emotional balance, and clarity in a noisy world. And if you found value in this video, leave a like so that others searching for deeper understanding can discover it as well. Before you go, write this in the comments. Calm strength speaks louder. It will remind you that real influence does not come from trying to impress others. It comes from mastering yourself. And while you are here, choose one of the videos appearing on your screen. Because sometimes a single idea, discovered at the right moment, can quietly transform the way you see the world. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay disciplined, and most importantly, stay stoic.